Hey, today I'm hearing the Suicide Machines for the very first time. Let's get into it. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Lone University. Today's request is brought to you by one of our patrons over at patreon.com/Lone University, where I do full album reactions. I have tons of educational content for bass and music and tons of other fun stuff, so come join our community. But I'm told if I'm going down a punk rock discovery journey, the Suicide Machines are a must listen. Never heard of this band before, but I have one morsel of context, and that is when I reviewed Alkaline Trio a while back. Despite that video being about bassist Dan Andriano, I fell in love watching drummer Derek Grant play. There was something just really infectious about his parts, his drumming. I know I'm not a drum channel, but I'm a sucker for some good drums when I hear them. And it's exciting to know that he's drumming on this. But beyond that, this track is from their debut album, Destruction by Definition, released in 1996. And one last tidbit I thought was interesting. Reading here, it says the album's title was decided by Jason Navarro, their frontman, and it basically refers to the fact that if you place a label on something, you destroy it, since the band didn't like being labeled as a ska band. And that is something that's been kind of confusing going down the punk rock rabbit hole, is that there's just so many subsets and genres and movements, and I'm trying to tie the strings all together. But nonetheless, let's check this out and get straight to it. Hey, by the Suicide Machines. Ooh, feedback? Ooh, that double pick scrape in both channels. Whoa! That's a fat riff. E minor? What the hell this? What's going on? What went wrong? Dude, this went from like Am I Evil Diamond Head to like Real Big Fish really quickly. What the heck? I thought that, okay, this is like a heavier, darker kind of shade of punk. That halftime riff. That's so fat. Oh man, that was just a cool way to start the song. So, okay, they've introduced two very distinct sounds in 50 seconds here. I want to come out of that fat riff and go into this part because it went up to A major, I believe, which is up a fourth. They got real happy up here in A major. Okay. They sound like two different bands. Man. Okay. Bass is clear as day. What's going on? What went wrong? I don't know why. Must you try? Let's go! Horns! I did not expect that in this song. Whoa. Oh man. Yes. Okay, I just did Goldfinger maybe 2 weeks ago, and I was reading in the Wikipedia about the band that whatever album Here in Your Bedroom was on had horns on it. So I went into that song expecting horns. I didn't hear any, and the song was really cool, and I said I didn't miss the horns, and I wasn't sure when I was going to review a band with horns again. You guys know I love horns. I didn't expect that at all. Sometimes I talk about a band name kind of primes me for what I think a band will sound like. The Suicide Machines. And then we start off with that like heavy metal riff from like the 70s or 80s. And that was just the most knee-jerk left turn stylistically. When that song started, I didn't expect to hear a horn at all. So this is wild. We're already halfway through the song. And I want to point out that kind of herky-jerky phrasing of that bass riff, because we went up to A major from kind of an E minor. Now I'm wondering if that's going to come back at all, but nonetheless, we go up to this. Some just real specific thing that was in unison. We're kind of going 1-4, keeping it real happy on two major chords, going back and forth. And those horn lines are just infectious. I mean, I say it every time. The texture horns adds is immense, because even in this happier, I'm not going to say softer, but just more jovial orchestration, it still has those upbeat guitars, very ska, kind of reggae influence. It's fast tempo. Everything's really up front. And the horns just add this back melody depth when the vocals are off, they're not singing, and you just have this kind of other melody come in just to kind of pull your ear on this melodic journey until the vocals come back in, which kind of contrasts with the more rhythmic nature of those vocals. So there's a lot to unpack here in just 1 minute. I'm going to go back to here and let it play a bit and just kind of see where this unfolds, because like nothing would surprise me at this point. Gotta love horns. Man, that guitar is so fast. That's such a simple horn line, too. I think it's just right down the scale. Just 5 notes up a major scale. It's just the way they're phrasing it in conjunction with all that other syncopated upbeat stuff. Then they have that longer notes, just more sustained. This is a great contrast in terms of what I've heard, punk, ska, and horns together. I mean, Streetlight Manifesto, Real Big Fish, awesome. This is really up there with that, just in terms of how catchy it is. Okay. This melody. Ooh, okay. It's going up 1-4 and a quick 5, so it's almost going up to that 5, so it's almost got like the 12-bar blues thing going on. And that's why it has that peppy, I mean, you just can't help but smile. It's all major chords. It's playing all 3 major chords in a diatonic key, 1, 4, 5. And they're phrasing it a bit differently, but it just, you smile. Then you add those horns with that catchy, the slide up to that little 6. Whew. This made my day already. Ooh, that cross stick slams. Whoa. My world is crumbling and I don't know what to do. It's falling down around because I'm thinking of you. Take a look. Ooh, that bass tone right here. Just a halftime breakdown? Uh-oh. Oh my, I can't stop smiling. What's going on? What went wrong? I don't know if this is in, oh, I'm at the end already. One more second. I don't want this to end. That's it. Dang it. My God, what a surprise that was. I didn't want that to end. I remember saying that when I reviewed Lagwagon a while back. That just made me smile. This might have been the smilingest track I've done. I think just because I had a slight idea of what it might be like. I was expecting some skate punk thing or something, and it had those elements, but surprising with the horns. And even without the horns, that's such a fun song. The intro riff is a very interesting context. I'm wondering like how that fits in with the rest of their sound. Is that coming out of another track? Because they didn't go back to that sound at all. It was just a very isolated riff that didn't tie into anything. And I'm almost grateful for that because I heard that riff and I was like, okay, it's going to be like this. And in no way, shape, or form did I expect it to end the way it did. What can I say? Fun, upbeat, just adventurous. It has the elements of Streetlight Manifesto and Real Big Fish and Less Than Jake that I like. And if they have more songs that have this kind of binary metal with the happy upbeat ska punk, I'm very curious to hear them. And yeah, I didn't want it to end. I didn't want to keep going back and replaying it, so this might be a bit shorter, but I was just going to keep smiling and my cheeks were getting a little sore at the end there. But what a cool track. Thanks to one of our patrons for requesting Hey by the Suicide Machines. This is the band's debut album. I have a feeling the whole album is quite spunky if this was any teaser for it. So as always, these are all contenders for Patreon full album reactions. Come find us over there at patreon.com/LoanedUniversity. And while you're here, please like and subscribe to the channel. It really does help me out and the channel. I really, really appreciate you guys hanging out with me for this one. I love you all as always. We'll see you next time.